This is my light now, B. This is so you know, B. There's Ween, there's B and K-Twiss up on the mic. Two friends brought together just to talk at night. Remember those days, dreaming about getting paid. Now we live in the dream, no more plans delayed. Fresh thoughts, new crowd, listen up real close. Click, like, comment, and share with your folks.
Day and night, night and day. Tune into the ish we gotta say. Laughs and stories, wisdom flows with Killer B and K-Twiss. Anything goes.
From sitting in the room, scheming on the low, to live broadcast where the thoughts just flow. If you call in, better be on P's and Q's. Might get dragged down these avenues. We talk the talk and we walk the walk, bringing life to the dreams we used to chalk.
Day and night, night and day. Tune into the ish we gotta say. Laughs and stories, wisdom flows with Killer B and K-Twiss. Anything goes.
It's more the podcast, it's a vibe, it's a feel. From the basement days to our first big deal, we hustle and grind with passion so true. Every episode's a journey, come join the crew. It's more the podcast, it's a vibe, it's a feel. From the basement days to our first big deal, we hustle and grind with passion so true. Every episode's a journey, come join the crew.
Day and night, night and day. Tune into the ish we gotta say. Laughs and stories, wisdom flows with Killer B and K-Twiss. Anything goes. Oh, oh, oh.
What's up?
What's going on? It's K-Twiss.
Hey, you Killer B, how y'all doing?
Hey, so check this
We
out,
doing
Killer. No,
another one.
so yeah,
Go
another
on.
one. No, see,
We on another one.
we was talking about the mega hit series, The Walking Dead, and we were just like sitting right here like reminiscing on the
Sure.
whole kit and caboodle of it, the whole thing. And we were talking about how about the beginning. You were talking about the Crown Vic that
Oh
that
yeah,
Rick and
yes.
Shane was kicking it in, and what were they talking about?
They was talking about their circumstances in dealing with women.
Wow,
Yeah,
and I was talking to
they
yeah, go ahead, yeah.
yeah, the circumstances was, you know, Shane was dealing with the circumstances of his girl not being able to turn off a light switch. You know, she started claiming that he was being like her father and stuff. And he's like, well, with all that knowledge that you have in there over your father and whatnot, okay, you still don't have the common sense to turn off a light switch.
Okay, okay. Now, how did we start talking about them? I think I talking about Shane and how primitive he was.
Yeah, yeah. His state of mind, how everyone's gets thrown back into a stone age in a sense, in the stone age state of mind. We have all these technologies, but once a horrific circumstance is implied on everyone at once, okay, you watch your general person, okay, who could be, the best person in the world, sweetest person in the world, whatever the case may be. Now they are completely something different because, the circumstances hit them in a particular way that changed them, loss of family, loss of friends, loneliness, not being prepared for those kind of crazy scenarios, not knowing, okay, the dangers that lurk, that the person that's still living is now your enemy. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
you know, you know, you know, the walkers. The Walking Dead. They are the least of your problems. You don't want to be around them, of course. Get bit the whole 9 yards, but you're more worried about the living now than you were ever worried about the dead. You know,
That
and
is for real.
you know, you know, our situation now. Okay, it's the same thing. Our dead are buried. Buried or cremated, whatever the case may be. We don't
Mm,
worry about that.
right.
And under our lives now, what are we worrying about? Just the common man. We don't know who we gonna meet, what kind of situation we gonna get into. And we have law enforcement, we have military, and we deal with the rules that do apply, the laws and whatnot. But you know, under those circumstances of The Walking Dead, now that's all disbanded. There is no police department. There is no military. Okay, there is no government control. We under those situations, okay, it's every man for themselves. And if you can't handle the circumstances, okay, you might just get eaten up by the next person that was probably your best friend, okay, years back, quote
Right.
unquote, with Rick and Shane.
Right.
You know, Shane took it upon himself, thinking, okay, and we saw what happened. He went in there to the hospital, and it was time to get Rick up. Rick didn't get up. Rick was not.
Right.
He was still in a coma. You
Right.
know, and he barricaded him in there, but he saw what was happening. They were shooting. They were shooting people in the hallways.
You're right.
Military was
Yeah.
shooting people in the hallways. You know,
They
so
had to get up out of there.
he had a choice: either try to get Rick out or get himself out of there under what was taking place.
There was
You
no
know,
way.
you know, and in doing so, I think Shane's deal was, at first, well, that's my boy, that's my partner. I got to take care of his family. That's what
That's
he would
true.
want me to do. That's what
Right.
his
Exactly.
priority was at first. You know, let me take care of my boy's family. You know,
Right.
and he told her, that he was gone, of which I'm sure he believed that he was gone. You know, you got to remember, Rick woke up after stuff had already happened. He saw the circumstances with the hospital. The hospital was just blown apart. Bodies in
That
the
sucker was,
hallways.
yeah, decimated. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think his real intention, was to actually, take care of his dead buddy's family. But
He
within
he
that,
looked at
and
him and he looked at him and said, "He's done for. He'll never make it out of
yeah,
here."
well, I'm sure. And I don't think he even looked at it quite like that, but he was like that. He figured, what? If he's in a coma, he ain't coming out of that. Okay. And if anybody, military or what have you, get up in this room, I can't stop them from killing him
Right.
because he's out. As far as they're concerned, a coma person is basically a dead person. You know, so they got rid of him. He barricaded him, and he was like, "Okay, I got to get out of here. I got to be gone." You know,
Yeah. Save myself.
yeah,
Fight or
you
flight.
know,
He had to flee.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Survival techniques. You know what I'm saying?
It was self-preservation. Bottom line.
So that's
You
what I'm
know,
trying to. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah. Self-preservation. Yeah.
yeah, and under those circumstances, you got to ask yourself, what am I going to do when it comes down to something like this? I can either fight. Am I capable of doing so? Do I have those abilities? Do I have those skills? Okay. Do I have that mindset? Or am I going to run? Okay. And if I'm running, okay, do I know what I'm going to need while running? And am I going to stay on the run? You know, am I going to be able to handle this situation and a manner that the day to day I'm going to be okay, you know? And that is a serious question to ask,
Right.
you know, because not everybody has that mindset. Not to mention, okay, and I forgot to even say this, you know, uh, in the situation, okay, you're not the same person you used to be.
Hmm.
Your state of mind, who you really are as a person, okay, okay, primally,
It's
okay,
going to
is
come
going to
out.
emerge. It's going to emerge. It's
It's
going to
going
come
to
out.
emerge. Absolutely.
Okay, you know, you know what you would have done, could have done, should have done back then under regular days. Okay, is one thing. Okay, it's who you become now. Okay, you know, is going to make the difference whether you survive the night. And who you have with you, the type of people you have with you. Okay, what have you now become accustomed to? One of the questions, okay, that uh, Daryl in the show would ask consistently is, okay, how many walkers you killed? Okay, and then how many people have you killed
Right. And why?
and why? You know, killing the walker, yeah, that's easy. They're mindless. They just following that base instinct that they just stuck with. Okay, okay. People, they change, and they change for the good. They change for the bad. Some people become better. Some people become worse. Okay, and given an opportunity like that to happen, okay, you have those that'll take advantage of the situation. Given uh, our riots that we've had, you got those that want to help and okay, let's get things better. Let's get these people out in the street and everything else. And you got those that are like, okay, no police. We can go. It's all go time. Okay, we can steal this. We can hit this. We can go here. We can go there. We can take whatever the hell we want, and there's nobody to stop us.
Right.
So, how many people had that state of mind?
Right. Because Rick and his crew were like, hey, we're just trying to preserve us.
Yes,
We're trying to
exactly.
stay the heck alive. Now, other people they own some other time. You
Yeah,
know,
other
they they're
intentions. Absolutely.
they're on some marauder type of time. Like, whoever you come in contact with, take kill them, subdue them, take what they have, and put them down.
A lot of them were that way. Uh, there were a lot of characters that had that state of mind. I'll give you an example to some really crazy stuff. When they were in the prison, okay, they had some guys that were left in there. Okay, the prison guards just left,
Absolutely.
and
Oh God, I remember that. Yeah.
they found a couple of them that were in the right mindset of dealing with things,
Right.
and then you had those that were not in the right mindset of doing things. One
Yeah.
guy, one of the guys was so embedded in his criminal thinking that made the situation so much worse.
Absolutely.
Where two of the guys were like, we need to figure this out and survive this.
Right.
This
Exactly.
this is this is some new shit that we not even prepared for. We're criminals and we're not prepared for this. They knew, okay, that okay, my mind is not geared for this shit. Okay, where they
Exactly.
also knew the other guy was over geared for this shit. You know, you know, and that a lot of those scenarios played out through different things. There was another situation where Rick, Daryl, and Carl ran into these guys. Okay, and the guys were just going to simply kill them take their equipment, find out where they were, and go and raid their
Their
group.
compound,
You
yeah,
know,
their group,
yeah,
yeah.
was gonna kill their group, and it came so close to them being uh, eliminated that uh, Rick, given the chance, okay, even though he was bound, okay, and Daryl was about to get shot and his son was about to get killed, he looked at his son, okay, and you could see the gearing in Rick's mind, basically telling him, "You better wake up right now, not tomorrow, because tomorrow will not exist for you. You better do it this second." And
Right.
the next thing you know, Rick is taking a bite out of this guy's throat.
Wow.
You know,
I, I
which
didn't I didn't I
set
didn't
the stage.
remember that scene.
Yeah, and it set the stage, and which allowed Daryl to do what he needed to do, and they got out of that mess. He had seconds to contemplate the realities of things.
Right.
Seconds, you know. And of course, none of us right now are in those situations. Law enforcement may be, fire department may be, you know, they end up in these particulars where they have mere seconds to think about what it's going to cost. Is it going to cost the life of the individual causing the problem, or is it going to be the hostages that lose their lives? Mere seconds, you know. And like I said, he bit this guy's throat out.
Yeah.
Took a bite right into his larynx and ripped it out.
Yeah, I seen. Yeah, I remember.
You, you know, uh, so you got to understand when it's fight or flight. You know, depending on the person you are, okay, your gearing may speed up real quick, and you like, we're gonna handle this. This is not gonna happen to us.
Right.
Or you're going like, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. We gotta find somewhere to hide. We got to find another place to live, because this is not going to work for us. We will not survive this situation. So that the Walking Dead is it's a story of horrors, yes, but at the same time, you got to understand the triumphs, and the hardships that we as people can endure, okay, in a crisis, okay,
Right.
and you got to remember their crisis, okay, is almost a never-ending nightmare.
It was a
You know,
never-ending nightmare. Exactly. And
and,
I, you know, I used to wonder, like, okay, y'all need to stop procreating. Y'all
well, yeah,
look at where you at, and look at the future is dark.
right,
I said, I know y'all want to get down, but y'all need to start birth control. Y'all need to raid some of these pharmacies and get all the birth control you can possibly get,
well,
because you
see
do
that,
not want to bring no babies into this nightmare.
well, and that's the thing, okay? We had several situations, Carol's daughter being one, Carl being another, okay? There's a few other families that had children at the time when this took place, you know, you know, how do you deal and still keep things at a norm when things are so hellish? When things are just off the chart bad, that at any given moment, okay, you might be face to face with one of these things, okay, and you have a chance of losing your wife, or your husband, your daughter, or your son, or both. You give Maggie's situation, okay, out of the entire family, she lost her aunt, her brother, okay, her sister, her cousin, okay, her dad, okay, over a course of two seasons.
You're right.
You know, you know, just when she thought she was going to get her sister back, her sister ended up getting killed.
You're right.
Okay,
Right.
moments before she got to see her sister. You know, you know, those that had children. The guy who saved Rick, okay, in the first plant and had his son with him. Later on down the line, you find out that he got separated from his son, and his son was killed. You know, you know, and you got to remember they're already going through a traumatic situation. So you figure how bad has that person now become now that they have lost somebody? Andrea in the show, okay, she ends up losing her sister,
Mm-hmm.
right there at the rock quarry, okay, after just talking to Rick not hours before about how the rules don't apply anymore, okay, so her
Mm-hmm.
taking this little necklace, okay, to give to her for her birthday,
Mm-hmm.
what the hell, what kind of birthday did she have? She died on her birthday. And her sister still
Wow.
put the necklace around her neck, you know, at the same time, you're looking at, okay, well, her attitude was, you know, no one's going to put my sister down. Her whole attitude was, if anybody's going to do this, even though
It
she's
was gonna be
changing,
her.
it was going to be her.
Right.
You know, Rick went up to her and was trying to talk to her, and she goes, "And the safety is off." Basically
Yep.
telling him, I know how to use this. Don't even play with me right now. I'm going to do this. Nobody else is going to do this.
Now,
You
killer.
know,
I got a
yeah,
question.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so okay. So now, if okay, let's say knowing full well that the walkers are triggered and they go in the direction of sound,
hmm
how easy would you take on strangers that were non-threatening, but they got a small baby with them?
Well,
Would you tell them, hey, you know what? We got a solid situation going on right here. We know how to keep quiet. The baby is going to blow our cover, and we
yeah,
we make enough noise to defend ourselves, you know. But a baby will bring a horde. What would
this
you
is
What
true.
would you do? What would you do, man? Would you
Despite
send them
the
away or would you
risk,
take them in?
no, no, despite the risk, okay, under those circumstances, okay, you are better in a group than you are alone. Okay, you figure leaving them alone to deal with things themselves. Okay, I got a group of 20 people. Okay, mix
Hmm.
max people from all over. I got 20 people. Okay, that's 20 people to fight. Okay, okay, minus the kids. I'm saying 20 adults. To deal with
Yeah.
things. Okay,
Hmm.
you know, someone with a baby. Okay, you understand they are incapable. Okay, offending for themselves. Okay, they are in a what I would call a effed situation.
Right.
You know, where if they were put in that scenario by themselves, zero chance. They're done. It's over. Okay,
It's over.
without having any way to defend yourself, any way to protect the little one. Regardless of that, they are better off in a group than they are off alone. You know, your capabilities are only so much, and holding a infant child. Okay, guess what's happening? You're running. You're not trying to stay and fight. You're running, trying to get your child out of that situation. So it's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. Me myself, yes, we're taking them in. Now other people, okay, based on their mindset, okay, you know, you hear criminals all the time in different movies talking about shut that kid up, that kind of thing.
Yeah. You're
You know,
right. Exactly.
yeah, you know. So you understand in that situation, that kid would not flourish in there. Okay, they're more likely to be removed from the scenario. Whatever equipment or gearing that they have is taken, and that group is going about their business. The Saviors, which was Negan's group, did that same kind of deal, um, which was a cold situation too. And because Rick's group was such a threat, he did a public uh, uh, execution because of that.
Right. Right.
You know, killing Glenn and you know
Hmm.
one of the other guys. Okay, with a
He
baseball
killed the
bat.
guy with the red hair, the red-headed
Yes,
guy.
and Glenn, which was
Man, that
Maggie's.
was horrible. Maggie's boyfriend.
Right,
Yeah.
and you
No,
know,
they had gotten married, didn't they? Or
somewhat, yeah, pretty much,
yeah, they were pretty much married. Yeah.
yeah, and you know, later on, understand through the entire series, Maggie had a problem with him. After that, just every and rightfully so, she had a problem, because of what he did, you know. But later on, it comes out basically the same thing that Rick did is the same thing that Negan was doing. Okay, he told her, "I had people to protect." Okay, you guys had just came in and shot up a whole bunch of people. Okay, killing moms, dads, brothers, sisters, friends, whatever. And all these people came to me. Same thing that everyone's done with Rick, and said, "What are you going to do about this?" Same thing that everybody does with Rick. Consistently through the show, you see people coming to Rick about what to do, how to do, whatever. Okay? Negan was in the same situation. And he told Meg, "What was you expecting me to do? These people are depending on me, okay, to lead them. And I had to make examples of you. Otherwise, they would have questioned my leadership."
Yeah, but see, but okay, now, but see, check this out though. Yeah, yeah, you right. But look at the way Negan carried
Exactly.
out the
Yeah.
executions though,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, he did it publicly. Okay.
No, it ain't about being public, dude.
No.
I mean, he bludgeoned them to till there was no they.
Exactly.
He bludgeoned them to they were just matter.
Yes,
Their
exactly.
heads were just matter. Not there was no semblance of a skull. It was just
Yeah.
matter,
Now,
man.
now think about it like this. Now think about it like this. If you were going to make a clear statement, make it clear to everyone, not only the people that you're with, but to those that are against you, how would you make the clearest statement you could saying that I will not allow you to do this in my presence? Under those circumstances, okay, understanding the frame of mind of people have changed, okay,
Yeah.
okay, we don't discuss nothing now. We're not talking about it now, okay. We're talking about primal rage, okay, and control of a situation literally at that moment, and you need to get a point across telling your people while at the same time telling other people the same thing, that one, you can count on me and I will show you that I mean business about the things that I say, while at the same time telling people, getting it across to them, that you will tell others exactly who we are and what we're about and what we will do to those who defy us. Same thing.
Well,
He killed two birds with one stone on that.
he definitely he definitely sent a clear message and made it known that hey, look, he had everybody scared of him, man. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody scared. It was the big dudes that were even bigger than him
hmm I
had
mean,
him shook.
well, you got to think about it. Okay, you got a guy, okay, that names a bat. Okay, understand the bat. Let's back up a little bit about Negan. Let's say this. Okay, the leather jacket and the bat. Both of those things are two points of his reality that he still had with him from the past. First of all,
Right,
that was a $600 jacket that he knew he shouldn't have bought, that he knew his wife was going to get upset about, but he bought it anyway.
right.
Okay, okay. The bat, okay, was a bat that was actually stolen, okay, that was supposed to pay for and cover the expenses for his wife's medication. Some kind of situation with that. Okay.
Yeah.
He ended up with the bat, he ended up with the jacket, and he named the bat after his wife.
Lucille.
Okay. His wife was named Lucille. Okay. 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 And based on her demeanor about things that she got upset with him, that's why he called it the vampire bat and wrapped it, okay, in barbed wire. Okay. You know, something to that extent. Okay.
Right.
But that was his thing. That was his wife. That was the one thing that kept him clearly locked and tied to his wife, even after everything had happened, after she died. You know,
So that was his ride or die.
that was his wife was his ride or die. Okay, so with the situation taking place, world going to hell. All right, his wife dies due to the medication situation, and believe me, okay, when she died, and he found the people because they took the medication that he could not get to her. Okay, and he found them. He used that bat. He wore that jacket and used that bat. And that form of Negan is the first step into what he came before the Saviors even came into play. You know, that his mind was gone. Okay,
Boy, every freaking episode after they introduced him, I was wishing that somebody would just take this fool out in the worst way.
a lot of people felt that way. I hear
In
you.
the worst way. I was like, oh my God.
Hmm.
Somebody drop this fool.
And it was very hard to do. And after the point that they actually get him, and the Saviors are disbanded, what do? They kept him in a cell.
I couldn't. Nigga, come. Dude. I was doing the Cuba Gooding Jr. Fight in the air. Like, why in the world won't they kill this nigga? You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
Don't keep him
absolutely.
in a cage. Don't keep him alive.
Oh, believe
You know,
me,
take.
the thing about it is, the one person, okay, the one person that could have done it, and Maggie was, oh God, she was livid because remember, uh, Rick and Negan were going head to head out in that field under that tree. They went head to head, and he wasn't playing. He was not playing with it, you know, and he actually ended up slitting his throat, but kept him alive. You know, it's the whole scenario is like, damn, you know. So you know, it's that show is just literally a prime example of what actually could take place with people. You know, you know, you got to remember we got people doing their day-to-day lives. You know, calling home, calling their boyfriends. Going to visit this person, going to see that person. They're doing their basic day-to-day lives. Okay, and in an instant, in a matter of
Oh,
a few weeks, a few months,
uh-huh.
that turned inside out, upside down. People were lost, family members gone, you know, and these people are basically running on go mode, either fight or flight. That's it,
Right. Yeah.
you know. And the thing about it is, you never knew which mode anybody was in until something went down, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That's the most realistic series that really shows the pathology of the human,
Psyche. Yeah.
experience, man, the human psyche. I mean, it's like uh in my opinion, I think Rick and his group were were like way too accepting. That's
I believe
just
that.
that's just that's just me. Oh, you so you were of that thought process as well?
I think he was a little too accepting. I more along the lines. I kind of understand Daryl a little more clearly.
Hmm.
Daryl is no nonsense. I'm not playing with you. Okay, we gonna talk, but then after we done and we aren't seeing eye to eye, and you're still trying to come at me about mine, I'm about to wrap this up, and I'm gonna wrap it up, and unfortunately, you're gonna be part of the boat. you know that, and that is how he was.
Right.
What he that's what his demeanor was. You know, his demeanor has never changed throughout the series. You can see Rick as he evolves. Okay, and Daryl does change. Okay, but he doesn't change in the same sense. He changes where, yeah, he doesn't want to get close to people, but he will. All right, but regardless of getting close to you or not, if it if that means I have to do you, I'm gonna do you. You
So
know,
so while we're on the subject of
Rick,
characters, what do you think about the character Merle?
okay,
He
he
started
well,
laughing.
I have to, okay, because he's another example, just like the criminal I told you that was inside the prison. Okay, his mindset never changed. Okay,
How would you
regardless, he
describe
still
Merle though? How would you describe Merle?
basically your general uh, uneducated country racist. You know that you know has his opinion, and it's the only opinion that matters. Uh, you know, which is interesting because even though Daryl was from the same, cloth, okay, his demeanor wasn't like that.
Right.
That was his brother, you know. So it's kind of interesting that, you know, he was cold, but he wasn't racist cold, you
Right.
know. Merle, okay, that man had issues. That man had some serious issues.
He
Okay.
was
And
definitely
even
a master antagonist.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. You know, you know, his whole demeanor was he felt the world was owed to him. You know,
Right.
anything
Right.
that he could get out of it at any expense, he didn't care. Okay, if he could get through it and take you out with him, then he would.
Oh yeah.
You can tell. You can tell.
He was
You
so
know.
obnoxious, man. It was just he absolutely sickened me, man. And that's how you can tell a great actor is is
Sure.
is if their character can make you feel extreme emotion, then they've absolutely done their job.
Yes, I agree.
Cause
I
he
do agree.
rolls some stuff up in me, man. That bruh.
Oh, you felt it, and you felt it. That was the deal
Oh
about it.
my God, I felt it. Yeah, man.
You felt it, and it he brought it home with that acting. You know, you know. Um, but again, in that world, you have people that got worse with that situation, not better.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're right. You're right.
and he was one of those that became worse. You know?
Yeah, because I think that was the catalyst for them coming into contact with all of these weird extremists.
Yeah,
Like the governor.
you're right.
You remember the governor, and then you had this sci-fi chick, the Amazon chick.
Hmm.
You
The
know,
one that was inside, and the one that was inside the waste plant. Oh, crap. I screwed around. Let me go get my wallet. I screwed around and left it in the truck. I'll be right back, sir.
yeah,
I
man.
left, I left my wallet. I'll be right back. I uh, excuse me. Oh, thank you. Um, yeah, there was the governor and stuff like that. Even he showed that same side of him where um, in like Carol's situation with her daughter and finding her in the barn. He dealt with this situation knowing that his daughter had been bitten, and he kept her, basically locked up in the lower bowels, and nobody knew that his daughter was there. You know,
Right.
you know, and and when Michonne decided to remove that situation, it changed the game all again. You know, you never know what the situation is going to be until the situation becomes what it is.
Uh,
You just don't know.
apparently, yeah. Hmm.
You know, you know, and we're talking about twists and turns of a series, okay? But if you think about it and you apply that to reality, okay, those same twists and turns are always, they're always on the surface. They're always sitting there, you know, and our basic day to day can easily change, you know, with one incident. It just takes one little incident that makes the entire day just go from good to great and absolutely oh my god to completely horrible and good grief. I don't ever want to live a day like that again. You know.
Let me ask you a
So
question. This raises some questions in my mind and some opinions. Okay, so I think that in a scenario such as that, doomsday, no, you know, no, martial ain't no martial law. Ain't there is no law. There's just survival. I think I think that's the time to begin gangbanging. That's when you should
oh my
start
god.
controlling That's when you should start controlling blocks.
Okay. Okay.
This is our block. We don't want no new Negro. We don't want no new Nils. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you
You
remember
know,
that's what the government did.
we
Bring in the
controlling
home.
norm we controlling everything west everything let me see everything south of the 10, you know. you know I mean, it's like that's where gang banging would make sense.
There you go. Please. Yeah. Uh, It's just
I can't believe this traffic is doggish, man. Oh my gosh.
oh no, no. I'm good. Thank you.
This traffic is crazy. I can't believe this mess. Oh my god.
Thank you. You too. Yeah, see, you think about it, all the things that we get upset about and been out about, reckless drivers, okay, the road rage, people stealing your cart, people stealing stuff out of Walmart, fighting in the streets, and you, all that stuff just don't seem, you know, it don't really matter no more what if you're in that scenario, you know. it don't matter no more. Okay, basic living don't matter. You mad because you missed your show. You know, you mad because oh damn, I was fighting my wife and I couldn't get the lawn cut. You know, okay, you know the painters didn't show up. You
Yeah.
know, okay, damn, okay, I didn't pay the bill to cut off the water. you know, you know, all that crap is out the window now. Okay, you know, money don't mean jack to nobody. Okay, you got $50,000 out of the bank. Okay, and nobody want it. Yeah, your situation is dire at that point. Okay, it's like your highest priority is to ensure that you have enough weapons just to make sure you get to the night if you pass through a town. You know,
You know what the good thing was is nobody had to pay the electric bill no more, or the gas bill no more, or the water bill no more,
well, that's
because
what I'm saying. Though.
there was nobody to come and cut it off.
Okay, but there was nobody to keep it on either, and stuff just stopped. You know, cell phones. That was it. No power. You know, they're using power to just light their homes at night. You know, because there's no electricity coming through. They had to grab and steal all the extension cords they possibly could muster, and then all the car batteries that they had to come up with, and
That's
it was
true.
all a figure it out thing. You
It
know,
was.
you know, all the medication. Nobody's making medication anymore. So what you could get is what you got.
You
You
had to get
know,
what you could loot. Yeah.
you know. Okay,
Everything. Everything.
yes,
That doctor. He was telling everybody. Get everything every bottle you see that has an osis or itis, or what I'm
yeah,
saying.
X, Y, and Z. You had make sure you got that. Okay, if you got things for hay fever, okay, grab it. If you got things for itch and if you find so much as a first aid kit, bring it because
What you doing?
everything is scarce. You know, and understand we're in a situation where people do get injured, they get hurt. Jump
Yeah,
over a
that's
wall.
true.
What was the guy's name? T-Bone. Okay, he had
T-Bone.
that situation.
Yeah.
They were hiding from that horde in the middle of the road, and he then slit his wrist trying to, you know, on the car.
Yeah.
You
Trying to
know,
make it. Yeah. Uh huh.
it's like you can get injured doing anything in a rush. You know, you know, the situation that they had to do with Herschel. They had to remove his leg, and they removed that damn thing quick. You know,
They did. They chopped it. They used an
yeah,
axe.
they did. Yeah, there was either that or turn. Okay, obviously that stuff got through your system rather quickly in cases, depending on who you were. You
Right.
know, so what are you dealing with? What's okay? You got to remember, they were dealing with a pathogen that is already in their system.
You're right. Yep.
Okay, and all it was waiting for you to do is die. That
Yep.
was it. It's already in their system.
Because you was coming back.
Yeah,
And it
because
wasn't
they were
gonna be
finding
like
people.
Jesus either.
Yeah, they were finding people that were not shot, not stabbed. Okay, just somebody broke their neck. They fell down a trench.
Yep.
And what initially killed them didn't kill them at all. They had cases where some fell in acid pits and stuff, and they had acid
Acid
acid water.
walkers. Yep.
Yeah, you had other ones that they had a situation where not The Walking Dead, but one of the other series where they were introduced to plutonium. There was an explosion and everybody there died, but now they're radioactive walkers. You know, you know, and you think about it, there's a lot of scenarios that you have. Those that couldn't swim, they drowned them. Okay, now you got mugs in the water that you don't want to mess with.
No, exactly. Now there was one series called Z, where
Oh yeah,
the walkers were able to think and they ran faster and they
oh
did
yeah.
everything faster.
World War Z. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt movie. You know,
Well, no, no,
and
no, no. It was a series. It was a series. I think it
oh
was called Z.
yeah. Well, World War Z was the Brad Pitt version of that, where they were running after people. He would look at the
Okay.
time that somebody got bit, okay, and he would literally count it down, and it was like 10, 9, and by the time you got one, you got this little kid talking about the train is off the station, and then they go take off running after somebody. You know,
Right.
you know, it all depends. Some people it would take hours for them to become infected,
Uh,
and come back. Others it would take minutes.
Minutes. Yeah. I remember the
Minutes.
movie, but kind of vaguely. But
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. It. I honestly, when you see how people are today, okay, and you see how they act, understand this. You see how people are. You see how they act towards one another. Okay,
Mhm.
you got those
Mhm.
that are just kind constantly. You got those that are just complete buttheads constantly. All right, and then those that are all in between. You know, it's like when people are scared, and I'm saying this. Understand what happened with us with the coronavirus. When people are scared, okay, they really start doing stupid things. They're
Mm.
not thinking. They are reacting. They're not thinking. You know. So if you take our society now, based on how the governments ran, how we're looking at government officials, how we are looking at our own police force, okay, how we tend to look at one another.
Mhm.
And you take this reality and you throw it in that situation, you can only imagine the outcome.
Wow.
You can
I,
only
I really, I
imagine.
really, I really couldn't imagine. But what I do know about myself is I would just really uh be protective of my general area, not just of my home, but of my general area. It's like I would get together with the people with the men on my block, and we would have to secure a perimeter, a certain perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Get with the people in my neighborhood, and we would just have to secure a perimeter, man, and don't let nobody in, and protect the ones who have to go out.
Yeah. And I get that, but you would hope, and that's you hoping that they had the same mindset, the same thoughts. Yeah, let's stay here. But the problem with staying there is if you couldn't go out, okay, and you couldn't forage, and you couldn't find what you need, eventually you're going to have to leave to do so.
That's true. That's true.
And that's where the problem lies. Okay? Because you can stay there. There's nothing stopping you from staying there. Okay? But it's about to get rougher. It's about to get real rough.
Hmm.
Okay? Because the refrigerators aren't working anymore. The ice boxes aren't working anymore. You know? So the food we got isn't staying fresh. We're
That,
looking for canned stuff now.
that's
All
true.
right? And everybody's been in the stores. Ben and Jerry's is gone. Okay, Stater Brothers, shoot, everybody grabbed everything they could, waters and God knows what else. You know, the game has changed,
The game has totally changed at that point.
and when you know the game has changed, it's like, what are you gonna do to play this game now?
Oh, you got to do every anything and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Even
So
things
protected,
that you
man.
would not dare to do at this day and age. Okay.
And with the way things are going down, I mean, we need those bug out bags. We need survival. Just survival tools and everything that you need to survive on your own out there in the streets.
Of course, absolutely.
You know, because just this morning we had what 4 or 5 different earthquakes in one general area,
Yeah.
and they were not small. They were in the
Oh
fours.
yeah, it shook. Yeah, it shook us. It shook us. But here's the question. Okay, how many out there actually know what to do in emergency situations, and how many more do not? And if you look at it, okay, let's throw you back into the Walking Dead scenario. Okay, that is a high emergency situation. It is that is traumatic. Okay, it's quick happening. Okay, it's happening right in front of you. Okay, you're seeing people being attacked right in front of you, and you're trying to get your family out of that situation as quickly as possible. Okay, guns are being shot, fired. Okay, police have no control over it. Okay, they're shooting anything and everything that's coming at them, and it's not working. People aren't going down. Okay, fires are starting everywhere. Planes are going down.
Oh
Think
yeah.
about think about what is happening at that moment. Okay, explosions are going off. You know, nuclear plants are exploding because there's
Yep.
nobody there to deal with the situation.
To maintain it. Yeah.
Okay, you know, your base area is screwed up. Your basic plaza with the CVS and the Stater Brothers or Barnes or whatever. Okay, and all the food places. Okay, people are waiting for water, canned goods. Okay, whatever they can, and they're fighting for it. This is their survival, and they know it. If I don't have this, we're gonna have a problem. Okay,
Wow. Hmm.
okay. At that point in time, okay, and I don't know if I had discussed this before too. This same scenario played out. Okay, if there was an EMP, electrical magnetic pulse, basically shuts
Right. We
down
talked
everything.
about that. Yeah.
Right. You know. You know. Your first couple of days is you better start reading what's going on. Okay, if you're not at home, you better get home. Okay, once you get home, you guys better put a plan together. Where are we going? What are we doing? Why? Because those things are not going to be there. Okay, you know, everybody is now getting onto the same page quickly. All right, cars aren't working. Okay, we got bikes. Let's use them bikes. Okay, well, there are those that don't have bicycles, and guess what? They're going to plan on taking yours. Okay, there are those who have guns. Well, they're going to use those guns to take yours. You know,
Mm.
the whole
Absolutely.
game, the whole mental game, priority is survival. So, with that being said, okay, John, Bill, and Cindy up the street, as sweet as they are now, might not be so sweet later.
That's for sure.
Okay, they're great people. We hung out, went out to the house, we had drinks, we had a fun time. Okay, they're great. Now you're dealing with 3 people that will kill you on sight if you so much as ring their doorbell because they don't know what your intention. They don't know your
Hey,
intentions.
that's for sure.
Okay, and
That's
they've
for
already been
sure.
out 2 or 3 times and saw the bodies in the street. They've
Yep.
already been out. Okay, and the guy that is dressed like a cop okay, is now popping people, okay, just to take their backpacks
Hmm.
because he's trying to survive.
Hey, he's trying to survive.
Okay. And now you have a group, and this was in The Walking Dead, where they had a group of police officers that took over a hospital,
Mm.
you know, and that's where Maggie's sister ended up dying. You know, the way things ran before are not necessarily how they're gonna run now in that
Hmm.
situation. You
Right.
know, your best friend may become your best enemy,
Wow. That's
and that
sad.
and that it's sad, but look at Rick and Shane. Your best friend
B B
becomes your best enemy.
B. Would I have to pop you, man? Would I have to turn my Glock
You know,
on my
I look at it this way.
on killer?
I look at it this way. If the situation was that bad, you know what? I'll just say, you know what? Here's the bullet, because I can't
Oh,
help myself. I can't help myself. Here's the bullets. Handle me, please handle me, please handle me,
well,
because
in a
obviously I'm
situation where
quicker than
you
that.
change, where in a situation where we're in a situation where you were going to change, then I would have to, I mean, of course, and
Of
I would
course,
want you to do me, as well. But I mean, I would expect us to be, solid and thick as thieves, and
I would,
we are
and,
each other's
and
ride or die.
yeah, and in a in the right settings, okay, as we are now, absolutely 100. You know, okay, but given the circumstances of what happens, even I don't know where my mind would turn because of the horrifics and the trauma that is induced. You know, we can't say. You know, I mean, we would like to say, oh well, so society is going to still say civil and everything else, but we've also seen situations in our own time period where we have gone from a everyday society to people setting fires and throwing rocks in the streets and going up against the police department and you know bodies and the whole 9 yards, and the whole world has experienced that on some on greater scales.
Well, I'm gonna have to
You know,
keep my eye on you then. You letting me know what's really cracking. Okay, then. All right.
I didn't say what's cracking with me. I said what is cracking though. It
Nah,
is what's
man.
cracking.
Nah.
I didn't say
Nah.
me. Don't start throwing stones at me. Okay, because I point out the truth. Okay,
He
okay.
said, wait, hold.
I'm
He said, wait, hold up. I mean,
I'm
I may
being
have to
real
look. I may
about.
have to look out for me then. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay,
don't know
I'm
about
being
you.
real
I don't
about
know.
that. Even even you may do the same. You say it's like this. You can say, and I can say, "Hey, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna go there." Okay, but at the same time, we're not faced with that situation that will dictate where we go. We're not
But
there.
listen, in an apocalyptic situation, if you show up at my door, I'm not cocking the 12 gauge.
No, you just tell me to walk through, let the string pull the trigger, and you won't do it yourself.
It's some tripwire around the back.
Okay, I know about booby traps. Okay, I know about booby traps, Twist. I get that. Shit, I know that. He got booby traps. Bro.
And
Man,
all
walk in
we
the
gotta
house,
do,
bro. Ball people floor.
all we gotta
Okay,
do is look at the original Home Alone, and we can get all the
okay,
booby traps.
oh, okay, okay. Or Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, setting the booby traps and stuff, blowing uh, lights out
Freddy,
at Fred Krueger, and big old sledgehammers hitting him in the chest. And yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, I get it.
you know.
But I, I'm I just I hate I wouldn't I would hope I
Look
would
at this
freak
nigga
out
stuttering.
at the
Look at
thought.
this nigga
I am,
stuttering.
I
What you
am, I
stuttering
am,
about? Hey, I
because
thought we
I,
were cool, man.
I, my attitude is simply this. Okay, that thought of that reality, I hope we never get to.
Oh
I
my
hope we
god.
never get to because it is traumatic. Okay, and the damage, the psychological damage overall to everybody. Okay, okay, there's no coming back from that. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, perfect. Here's a perfect example. It's like Morgan. Okay, Morgan. He helped Rick when he first met him. Okay, okay. His son cracked him over the head with a shovel, but you know, you know, Morgan. Talk to him. It's like uh, me and my son had a little bet going on. Okay, you know, my son thinks you are a bank robber. I'm thinking you're a cop. And he's talking to Rick about what's going on. Okay,
Right,
getting to
right,
know Rick. And getting to understand Rick. Okay, again ends up
right.
wanting to teach his son. Morgan had that problem because his wife was now a walker, and he felt that he needed to put her down, but he could not do it. It was
He
hard
couldn't
for him
do
to
it.
do it.
Right.
You know, and you know, seasons later, Rick runs into Morgan again. Okay, Morgan's on that roof, and they're running through this kind of obstacle course that has been made out in the
Yes.
street.
Yes.
And they find out it's Morgan, and he's like, "Whoa, that's a friend of mine."
Right.
Well, your friend have reached a whole new level of existence after he met you and never met up with you. Okay, and then losing his son. You
He
know,
held that against Morgan held that against Rick for a long time, man.
of course. You know,
He really did. He really did. His mind was well, I thought he had gone crazy, but he hadn't. He
no,
was just he had gotten into a state of mind to where it was I've never seen that before. But art imitates life, man. So
right.
yeah, yeah. But see, in a real
It's,
life scenario, he would have lost his mind, really.
well, think about it this way. Just recently, there was a situation where an 18-year-old boy, 18-year-old boy, was killed by law enforcement. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay. What it must have done to the father when the father went back days later and killed the same officers that killed his son.
Mm.
Okay, think about what happened to his mind at that point.
Right.
Where where
Yeah.
where did where was that breakdown where he said, "Well, screw it," you know? And you're talking about thousands of people getting to that breakdown when you've watched someone die in front of you,
That's
and I mean literally
unimaginable.
in front of you. Living in front of you. You have their hand in your hand, and you're trying to pull them as something is literally tearing them apart in your hands, and they're screaming, and you are
Right.
forced to let go. You're
Right.
forced to let go. You know,
Unimaginable.
yes. And think about it. There have been scenarios just like that in all real time life, all over the world. Okay, whether they're running in a where civilians are running in a war situation, okay, cartel situation, okay, whatever, where you have your family member, you're running with them, and they drop because, and if you stay there, you're dead too.
Yeah. Exactly. I was gonna just say. Yep. You're a
You
goner.
know, so you can imagine where their mind goes. You know, I'm currently dealing with a situation of loss. You
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
I've had partners and friends and family pass away under all kinds of circumstances, and I've never taken time to grieve, and it's made things in my life difficult. You know, uh, things are getting better for me, of course, but you know, at the time when I was at my worst, okay, I was bad. I was really bad. Now you take that situation, that frame of mind, okay, where you don't have time to grieve. You don't.
No, they never had time to grieve, man.
None of them ever, no matter what the
Never.
situation was. Okay, no time to grieve. Okay, Carl. Okay, his mother is killed in the basement area of the prison by Walker, and he had to do his own mom.
Yes.
Okay,
Ain't that
and they
crazy?
showed us, and Rick was like, Rick Carl's walking to his dad with his, walking towards his dad with this look on his face, and Rick just falls to his knees. No, 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 no,
Yeah.
because that's the last thing he wanted his son to have to go through.
What the? No, you got to be kidding me. Please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. No. No. Okay. Dang. Come on. Oh my God. The
Is it
day
that
that
person again?
no,
That
it's
person again?
the day that I have to. I have an appointment. Okay. Yeah. It. Okay. It showed that I arrived before 4. Now I gotta wait till this truck. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man. What are you doing?
You see, in that scenario, this wouldn't matter anymore.
Exactly. I'm just trying to get. I can't believe this. I can't. I just cannot believe this. This would happen to me. Dang, boy.
Hmm.
Now I gotta wait till these guys unhook the doggone machine that they rented from Home Depot. That's a nice truck though. That's a nice Ram 250, 20. What's that? 2500.
Ooh, that's that good, good. That's what that is.
Yeah, Yeah, that's a nice one too, boy. I wouldn't mind rolling that one. Come on, I gotta go. Back the heck up. Back up fast. I need I need you to back up fast. I need you to back up in a hurry.
Before he walking dead you.
Yeah, before give you what Carl gave his mama. Let me stop.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm being funny. I'm being funny.
Oh my God. You can be funny. Damn. That was like that was cold. Mm.
Yeah, he had to put a nice big one in her, boy, 'cause she wasn't no joke, man. You see how she looked when she turned, bro? Golly.
The situation was, you know, she ended up getting eaten by the other walker. The walker ate her up. You see, hit the walker with the big belly. He ate his mom completely.
Oh, Jesus.
Hmm.
That's horrible. Wait a minute. I think they said this was a live unload or something.
Mm.
Oh, I know this ain't a roll door. Boy. Well, I tell you what,
Woo-wee.
I'm here.
He's here. We're so very happy to meet you. That you're here. Good.
Boy, and I was thinking about how Rick and Michonne was out there. Well, not just Rick and Michonne, but Glenn and what's his girl? What was his girl's name?
Maggie.
Glenn and Maggie. You know, I'm like, they y'all out there kissing each other. Y'all ain't brushed y'all teeth in years.
See see just that thought. Okay, they had a kind of like a flashback deal like that where everybody's reminiscing about, okay, you know, showers and brushing their teeth and all that stuff. Morgan and his son got to do that with Rick over at the station. The pilot was still on there, had that shower, they was singing in there and stuff. Okay, you think about it. Okay, people are living. Well, okay, they're migrating towards the beach and stuff just so they can swim in the water, and that wasn't cool. But
Deleted.
shit, that's as close to a bath as you're gonna get, or a lake, or a stream, or something.
Right.
Shower is out
Yeah.
of the question. Okay,
You really don't want to call yourself taking a bath in the ocean because that'll make it worse.
well, you think about it. Given the shutdown of things, what are your options? You'd be heating a lot of water. Okay. Okay. And you think about it, you'd be heating a lot of water just, because you can't drink it.
No,
You don't know
not at
what's in
all.
it. You're safer drinking water coming from streams than you are from anything stagnant.
Oh yeah.
You
Hey,
know,
how's it going,
the
Doc?
situation is serious.
So, well, yeah. So they said it was a live unload or something like that. Hold on. I mean, I'm not wishing for a live unload. I'm just, you know. Oh, okay, okay. I'm with that.
I
Don't
gladly take
don't
the interview
don't
for
threaten
your
me with a
life.
good day. Doc three. One, two, three. Oh, okay. So, uh, uh, oh yeah, it's ready to go. Okay, so just put my trailer where that one will go. Beautiful. Uh, oh, okay, okay. As they said 4 o'clock. Yeah. So I'm glad I was able to get you. All right.
Oh, look at you being on time.
Yeah,
He's on
man.
time, people. He's on time.
Oh, that'll be edited out. Don't trip. Maybe,
He
maybe
gonna
not. I
edit it
don't know.
all. He gonna
I
edit
don't
all
have.
of it.
I don't really have to edit it out because I mean I'm not saying anything. I'm not giving out any private information. So. Oh my God.
See,
I
you got
didn't
to
know
keep
that
that
this
in.
sucker.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because there's something I'm looking at that I
Uh
didn't.
oh.
Oh my God. Oh God. I'm looking at
Uh-uh.
something.
I don't want to know. I don't want to. Yes, I do. What you
Who's
looking at?
hey? Who's gonna know?
Yeah, okay. You know right
Because
now.
I do.
No. Who knows? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know if you know. Oh, okay, I know.
Airs they own they Udme app
Oh,
play.
oh, here we go. No, you know what? Uh-uh.
On is they Ailer tray.
Oh, God.
I
Yeah,
isn't
that was
they
my Pig Latin thing. Hey, Pig Latin
I
thing.
oh my God.
See,
Oh, why did
and
I
you still
just
see,
why did
don't
I
even know what
just
you're
do
doing.
this?
Cause
Oh,
you do it
I'm
because you
moving
want to.
I'm moving too fast, bro.
Mm-hmm. You don't look like Speedy Gonzalez to me. Epa, epa, ándale, ándale, yeehaw. I'm
You're
sorry, Senor
being
Woods. You won't move as fast as me.
you're being racist. You're being racist.
I'm not
That's
being
why
racist, Mr. Woods. I'm just being me. Mhm.
that was my best
Oh,
Irish accent. You're being
oh
racist.
God. You're being racist. Oh
Being
God.
racist. You're being a racist.
And why you at it? Give me a pint of beer.
And one for my friends. Oh
Get
God.
some for the brewers. You got one for every person at this table. Shit, why are you being racist, man? Give me a pint of groups.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to reattach to the trailer.
Yes, he was attached, and now he's got to reattach. This is
Ooh.
what happens when he comes loose. He said, "Ooh,
Oh no, I forgot that I had opened up the tandems.
don't feel bad. While you're doing that, I'm killing small Twinkies." Okay.
How dare you kill those poor defenseless Twinkies.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. I'm killing Twinkies because they are manipulated minions. Okay, they don't have their eyes and shit yet, so I figure I fuck with them.
Wow.
They can't fight back. Nah, shut the hell up. I'm eating you.
See, he got the Twinkies talking and whatnot. They look like minions. Are they supposed to be like Twinkies or something or what? I mean, that's
Well,
retarded. It's like, what are
that's what,
they?
that's what they look like. Okay.
Somebody gave the Twinkies some eyes, ears,
Right.
and legs.
Okay. And fart guns.
Oh my god.
Okay. And and hats with red lights going. "Woo-doo, woo-doo, woo-doo, woo-doo."
Mhm.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Let me see.
What did your mom tell you about playing with the neighbor's kitty? Only pet the kitty on the inside.
Oh my god. What kind of maniacal mess are we dealing with
Maniacal.
right
You're
now?
looking for the word. The word is maniacal.
Is that what that is? Maniacal, maniacal, maniacal?
Maniacal. He's looking for the word. It's somewhere part of his vocabulary.
I didn't know I was looking for that word, but I guess I was.
Well, it's right up there with the indubitably. Okay, you don't hear nobody say that shit. The fuck? You what? Say that again? How many syllables is that? Indubitably. Fuck.
Indubitably. Three, five.
Okay, you will fuck around and kill yourself trying to say that shit. What do you call a bunch of gays in a car shooting at people?
Well, straight shooters.
Drive-by fruitings.
Drive by what?
Fruitings.
By drive by fruiting. Oh god.
It's a drive-by fruiting.
A drive by fruiting. I can see that.
I can see that. Sure.
Mhm.
That's funny. Did you see it? Did you really see it? No. Mm-mm.
All right, well, folks. At we gonna drop it. We gonna wrap it up at drive by fruiting.
There's nobody here, but it's nice. Oh God damn.
I don't know who that was, but we gonna leave it there. I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. You know.
Oh my God, really? Oh
Hey
boy.
man. You know they're sensitive fruit booties over there. I mean, you know. But
He
anyhow,
just called you guys a bunch of strawberry daiquiris, just so you know.
now I do believe that you got some strawberries over there, you too. I
Mm-mm. They're
don't know
usually known
about
as neighborhood
daiquiris.
hoes, but okay. He said strawberries.
I
They ain't
believe
neighborhood
it's some
hoes.
strawberries. Mm-mm. Don't nothing change but the people. The game don't
So,
change.
that,
The people do.
so that's very scary, strawberry.
Oh yeah. hmm So check this out, people. We thank you for rocking with us. We hope we have entertained you through your drive or on your way to jail. Um,
Sitting at home in front of your children, okay, while they play Yahtzee. I mean,
hopefully you have some
eating,
headphones on. I mean,
mhm. Eating that brontosaurus burger with your old
exactly.
Flintstone looking.
Oh, and ladies, remember to vacuum your carpet twice a day. Because if you don't, you'll be living with creatures that used to live outside, but now they live with you
Oh shit.
inside.
In other words, pay very close attention and take care of Deadpool because he takes care of your tacos.
Put my beef in your taco. Anyway, all right,
I
y'all.
think they lost their mind.
I know I've lost mine.
I
No,
never had one to begin with.
but but
Damn. Oh,
in this in the spirit of love, peace, happiness, and joy.
yeah, say that
Keep,
right. You didn't even say that right. Say that
oh,
right.
what?
Love, peace, and more hair grease. Ah!
yeah, all that.
He said, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, because when you wearing your natural hair, you will need some grease.
That's for the
that
naps.
that that you will need.
Oh, man.
All right, y'all. This is K-Twiss,
And Killer B
and that's Killer B.
talking it.
Oh man, you supposed to say that was, and that's K-Twiss, man. We supposed to do it backwards. It ain't
Well,
really
I'm
backwards,
Killer
but the other way.
Ah!
Okay. Pause.
So that's K-Twiss. So
And
that's
that's
K-Twiss
Killer
making
B.
fun of Killer B. That's K-Twiss.
Nah, see,
See?
that's Killer B,
And that's K-Twiss.
and we
And
are.
this is talking
Well,
ish.
is it and this is, or is it
I don't
we
know
are?
what we
Doggone
are
it.
talking ish. Are we?
That's what
We
we.
are? Are
That's what we
that's what we're
doing.
doing. That's that's what we're doing.
So that's Killer B,
And that's
mother.
K-Twiss.
I'm a, and we are.
I'm so done.
Man, I'm a kick. Nigga,
Talking ish.
This is my life now, B. This is so you know B. There's Ween, there's B and K-Twiss up on the mic. Two friends brought together just to talk at night. Remember those days, dreaming about getting paid. Now we live in the dream, no more plans delayed. Fresh thoughts, new crowd, listen up real close. Click, like, comment, and share with your folks.
Day and night, night and day. Tune into the ish we gotta say. Laughs and stories, wisdom flows with Killer B and K-Twiss. Anything goes.
From sitting in the room, scheming on the low, to live broadcast where the thoughts just flow. If you call in, better be on P's and Q's. Might get dragged down these avenues. We talk the talk and we walk the walk, bringing life to the dreams we used to chalk.
Day and night, night and day. Tune into the ish we gotta say. Laughs and stories, wisdom flows with Killer B and K-Twiss. Anything goes.
It's more than podcast, it's a vibe, it's a feel. From the basement days to our first big deal, we hustle and grind with passion so true. Every episode's a journey, come join the crew. It's more than podcast, it's a vibe, it's a feel. From the basement days to our first big deal, we hustle and grind with passion so true. Every episode's a journey, come join the